guys, my name's Kendall. Welcome back to my channel. We are here on the edge of the Towalija River at High Falls State Park in Jackson, Georgia. You can see the dam behind me. They do have the dam open so the water is not coming over the falls nice and gently. It is spurting out of that hole like crazy. With it being on the edge of the river, it was a great place for a lot of different mills. They had a grist mill, they had a stone mill, a whole bunch of different stuff. I don't remember everything that was here, but it was burned down during the Civil War to keep the Confederate soldiers from looting. You can see some of the ruins back over here of some of the old mills that used to lay around here. There is a mill farther down that we are going to check out that is more intact still. Also during this video, it was brought to my attention at one of my last videos that I was hanging my hammock incorrectly and using it wrong, so we are going to recap on that. I did lots of research. We are going to redo my hammock stuff so you can see the appropriate way to hang and sleep in a hammock for optimal comfort. Just come with me on this adventure. All right, so this is the biggest of a series of waterfalls where the park got its name, High Falls. These waterfalls help produce the energy that the mill needed in order to run. Throughout the 19th century, settlers in the community at High Falls harnessed energy from the Towalija River using water wheels to drive mechanical devices for various industrial mills. Mid-century technological advances soon moved the open water wheel into an enclosed water motor or turbine, increasing efficiency by 90%. During the 20th century, hydroelectricity using a turbine along with a dynamo was first demonstrated and used in America at Niagara Falls, New York, to power the city's streetlights. I never knew that. That's interesting. Soon after the demonstration, High Falls locals and businessmen projected that the great energy of the Towalija would, quote, see every city within 50 miles of the falls lighted by their power. Colonel J.D. Boyd, Powerplant developer, says the Monroe Advertiser in April 9th, 1897.
Okay.
Back behind me, you can see the power plant that is the High Falls Power Plant that we've been talking about the whole time. This plant produced all the energy to run all the mills, the power, all the lights in Griffin, that's a few miles out. Not quite sure exactly how far away Griffin is, but it did power all of Griffin as well. So this brick part behind me was the actual powerhouse. This concrete part that you see here housed 3 different wheels that help churn the water and flow it back up towards a building that's back behind the powerhouse, which was the transformer building, which helped convert the water energy into the power that the mills and the lights in the town of Griffin all needed for, I think it said 53 years. So there you go. All right, guys. So we're gonna hang the hammock real quick. This is gonna be kind of a quick video because we're gonna end up hanging it across the trail, but it is getting time for the trail to close fairly shortly. So we're hoping that everybody's already off the trail and nobody else is coming back on. We'll see. So when you are looking for a place to hang your hammock, you wanna pick 2 trees that are at least 6 inches in diameter so they're strong enough to hold you, and make sure that they are alive. Make sure that they are at least 10 to 15 feet apart. So we're gonna go with these 2 trees right here. Another thing that you wanna do before you hang your hammock is you wanna look up, make sure there's nothing that's gonna fall on you in the night. No dead branches hanging. Okay, another thing is you wanna make sure that your tree straps are going to be at least, I'm gonna use my mouth for a second. You want them to be at least 3/4 of an inch long. So my knuckles right here are about an inch. It is almost exactly, that was not attractive. Almost exactly an inch wide, a little bit less than, so it's about right. Theoretically, you want them a little bit wider than the ones that I have, but this is so that the straps themselves, with the weight of you and your hammock and possibly your backpack and all that kind of stuff, doesn't damage the tree. So if you have those little strings, it can possibly scrape bark off, giving insects and such better access to the tree within. It could cut into the tree, damage the tree itself, all that kind of fun stuff. So another thing that we're going to talk about is how high you want to put your straps. About 48 inches. To me, that's about mouth height, I'd say. I'm 5'4". 5 feet is 60 inches. So I'd say about there. We'll find out. So we're going to test that and go. You want your hammock to hang at a 30-degree angle from the trees, and you want it to have some sag. You also want your feet about 6 inches higher than your head. Therefore, when you lay, it's a little bit more comfortable. So let's get these straps up real quick. This tree right here, while it is within the amount that you want it to be, it is a little bit smaller than what I prefer to use. But for the sake of this video, it'll do just fine. Gonna pull it out of its sack real quick, real super speedy like. We're gonna start with it up on the highest strap of both of these. See, I always thought that you wanted your hammock to hang really tight and pretty high up off the ground. But when you're in the hammock, you want your hammock hanging about 18 to 2 feet, 18 to 24 inches off the ground when you're in it. So you actually want your hammock laying fairly low. You also want it hanging at a 30-degree angle. So the trick that I learned in doing my research is if you take your finger and your thumb, put your pointer finger parallel to the ground. Your thumb and your pointer finger should both touch the strap if you're keeping your pointer finger parallel to the ground. So this is about 30 inches. This one side is a little bit higher than that side, so this will be the side that my feet go on. The next part that we are going to set up will be the bug net. And I actually did figure out the bug net this time. Last time I kind of gave up a little quickly. You're gonna unhook one side of your hammock, stick the carabiner all the way through, out the other side, and then you're gonna feed your hammock all the way through those little holes that you have on both ends. So you want your ridgeline hooks to anchor hooks to be about the same height as the anchor points on your hammock. And then you just pull it tight. Tight, tight, tight. Almost there. Why are you in a knot? And don't have fingernails while you're doing this because it makes it next to impossible to do anything. What the hell? What the hell? You want them tight, but you don't want them too tight. And then you just pull this right here to tighten it. Then down at the ends on both sides, you want to tighten this so it goes, it's just a little cinch thing. Ta-da! So you have your bug net, you have your hammock. Now to get in, I feel like mine's a little bit too low, I feel like. But we'll figure it out. Theoretically, you want to be able to sit in your hammock without your butt dragging the ground. Actually, this is a pretty good height right here. So you just get in. I would always take my shoes off. I'm not because we're in a hurry. And then you just reach in, reach down. Where's the zipper? There it is. Okay. So once you are in your hammock, your feet are elevated a little bit higher than your head. You obviously don't want to sleep like a banana. It's not very comfortable. I'm quite comfortable right now, but that's probably because it's what I'm used to. So another thing that I learned is you want to sleep at about a 10 to 15 degree angle. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my feet over here this way. And I'm going to put my head over this way. And what that does is it flattens out the hammock so you have a larger surface area. This actually is quite a bit comfortable, more comfortable. It makes it so your weight is distributed evenly over the hammock, so all your weight isn't just in the center part of the hammock. Also, it makes it easier if you are like me. Not necessarily to get in the position, but once you are in the position and you want to lay there, it makes it more comfortable for side sleepers. So I think actually my sister got me the wrong size bug net. I have a double nest hammock. You really want room, and I don't really have room. It'll work for what I need it to work for, but the bottom of the hammock's not supposed to be touching the bottom of the bug net. You're supposed to have some room on the sides. If I had 2 people in this hammock, which is what this hammock is made for, they would not fit in the bug net. So I think I just have the wrong size bug net, which is fine. It'll work for what I need it for, but it keeps the bugs out. Okay, another thing that I read in my research, and I'm kind of seeing why, the current temperature out here right now is 61 degrees. And while I am comfortable upstanding and all that kind of stuff, and the front of me is comfortable, the bottom of me is quite chilly. So you have a couple different options to kind of counteract that. They sell under quilts that hang under your hammock. You could also use a yoga mat or some kind of sleeping pad in your hammock, or a quilt that goes on the inside of your hammock. I've also heard a yoga mat will work. Just a little bit of insulation, because this material right here is quite thin and it gets cold and it stays cold, which in colder temperatures will make it a little bit more difficult to sleep. I've heard sleeping bags work, and I heard sleeping bags don't work. I'm planning on testing it out soon, hopefully. So, but there is all my errors and recapping them on how to hang and sleep in a hammock. So, if you have any questions, comments, concern, want to teach me something else that I didn't already know, which I would absolutely love, please comment down below. Like, share, follow. Hopefully next time you see me set up this hammock, I'll actually know what I'm doing, because I've done it now. Y'all have a great night.